I am old. Language is changing, English is changing, speaking is changing, but I'm not changing with it. So if you don't mind that your child says picture, lecture, structure instead of picture, lecture, structure, if you don't mind that your child says water, party instead of water and party, if you don't mind that he or she says a instead of if you don't mind that your child doesn't know when to change the to thee before a vowel sound, if you don't mind words like ceremony instead of ceremony, if you don't mind all of these things, then my subject is not for you. I am not for you because I am not changing. I'm 75 years old. I have been teaching for 56 years, 31 of them at Wesley College. It's my aim to be the oldest teacher that Wesley has ever had, and I'm a very strange being. I don't want to stop teaching.
Well, at first, Miss Lawrence definitely is an intimidating person, so I can imagine for younger kids, like they might be sort of scared.
I didn't send it to you, though.
Oh, great. Well, that's really helpful. Why didn't you tell me that when I was here? That's not good enough. It had a nice ending. Oh, for goodness sake, send it to me.
Certainly in the first few weeks in particular, people are not quite sure about what's going on with Mrs. Lawrence because she's such a strong personality.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the page.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you put your finger in there the first time? That's what I do, because I'm mean.
That's what she wants. Like at lunch and stuff, she won't. Everyone sees her and they start looking around. Oh, is my hair a bit long? Is my shirt tucked in?
Put my rubbish
is
away.
My
shouldn't be.
Yeah, hide the rubbish.
Morning, boys! Who's this? Did you hear anything? No mess, you blokes. Morning, boys! How are you? There's one over there. Don't leave a mess. Well, I love that, and I deliberately work on continuing that image, because if they've got this feeling that, they're scared of you, you don't have any problems. It's amazing, it's wonderful, very easy to teach. Do you need to go back to your voice and communication sheet and see what is required of you for this prose reading? Do you have to memorise it? No, Mrs. Lawrence.
No.
I actually say to some of the boys who come in, actually I'm quite kind.
But she does occasionally have that soft side.
But don't ever mention that outside this classroom.
Which she makes sure we won't reveal to anyone else.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
Say, don't tell anyone else I said this, or, don't tell anyone about this.
I'm Nicole DeRuy, and I've worked with Suzanne for about 28 years. She was my first mentor buddy teacher back in 1996 at Wesley College. A baptism of fire for me to be with Suzanne. Very lucky person I am. I think she's one of those people that's got the booming voice and she'll say what she needs to say.
Gee, but why do you think this is great? Or were you just thinking, oh my God, I've got no idea, I just better say something? Yes, you were.
But then as the students get to know her, they realise who she really is. You know that there's a little marshmallow inside, and she's incredibly compassionate and kind, but they also take note of what she's got to say, and she's certainly respected. But there's been students who have needed possibly that direct, explicit, noisy direction from her. Oh, come on, did you take about 10 tissues? Come on, go get some more and blow it again properly. I want that thick, as in using 3 tissues at once, not just one. But she'll certainly read that and accommodate that according to how that student responds. There we go.
With that constant pressuring and telling you what to do and being strict, you learn better and you're more motivated to improve.
This is absolutely thrilling stuff. Not. You've learned all this through a video game, and can you do this for 3 minutes? Not sure, Mrs. Lawrence. I probably could give it a go for 15 seconds. To me, you get what you expect. and I expect respect. Never miss. I don't understand that, and I hate it, and I don't like the way boys just call female teachers miss. Hey miss. Now they call male teachers sir, but if they don't just say hey mister. So if it's Mr. somebody, why isn't it Mrs. Lawrence? Anyway, all the boys call me Mrs. Lawrence, and they know that's what I expect and that's what I get. As a very young teacher, it was really important that my students liked me. But as I got older, I realised that was completely irrelevant. It was all about respect. But then, of course, if students respect you, then they like you anyway. I just love the students I teach. I think they know that. I probably don't show that a lot in class, but it's all fun. I can make them laugh. I know I can make them laugh, and that to me is really important as well. And to me, it's always a joke, and they know that. Charlie, that's your signature, is it not, Charlie? That's what you're going to be signing on all your legal documents, Charlie. Not C. Pert. That'd be way too complicated. I love taking them on a journey and then... Mr. Grasso.
Oh, what?
I don't know. What?
Can I sign?
Yeah, probably, if you'd like to. Or not. Depends whether you're here or not, are you?
Yeah.
And I mean in the head as well, not just physically. Sometimes I lead them on a little bit long. I was joking. And they perhaps not quite sure, but that's good. They're guessing. I keep them guessing all the time.
So you're going to prank him?
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm going to say, Bardia is sick. So that's our lowest, deepest voice on this side. So I sort of thought perhaps it may be time for Lucas to step up. It would work if we move one member up from the middle group to the low group. What do you think? Lucas.
We're not actually not there.
Here we are.
Oh,
but just for maybe a couple of weeks or something. It's just a trial. Don't you think that'll be funny?
Yeah.
Don't think we're doing it all with kid in there. Last week, we had an interloper into the low group. And I'm very upset to see that it's happening again. Boys, will you do your thing, please?
I know who she is, and so now I just like laugh and give her a hug because I know that she's got a kind heart. But some things are really important to her, and the way that we speak and pronounce, and I know that she's always critiquing anybody's speech, whether it be the headmasters or anybody else's, and giving them gradings on it.
Infrastructure. And I'd seen a doctor about his heart.
About his heart or about his heart?
About.
Then the army.
Wow, what?
Then the army of 3 hairs of the throne.
The 3 hairs, what, they're rabbits?
And millions around the world.
Oh, and what?
It was like...
No, not it was like. It was... I say to the boys, P-I-K-S-H-A, picture, will be in the dictionary. But I will be dead, thank God. I won't live to see that.
Picture. I think if Miss Lawrence saw this, I'd be killed, but picture.
She certainly will be watching.
Palmyra. Oh, you've been playing Pelly. Palmyra.
The Ballad of the Reading Gold.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God! Don't go Pally. You're doing speech and drama, so you say Palmyra. The Ballad of Reading Jail, and Reading is a place in England. Bald, bald, say it.
You did, you said like little. Like little Palmyra.
Yeah, could we do it a little bit better even?
The Ballad of the Reading Gold.
Reading Jail!
Oh,
Jesus. I don't know why I bother.
Palmyra.
Oh, yes, all right, not too bad.
I think Suzanne has, for a long time, been obviously theatrical in everything she does.
It's not evil enough.
Into the fire with you. Go into the fire.
Right, you've got to really get... You don't make me laugh. You wouldn't know your ass from a hole in the ground, son.
From a passion to Mifflin.
Oh, Jenkins, I should have known.
I know, Mrs. Lawrence. I know.
Jenkins, I hate it. Did I know what house you were in before I agreed to take you?
To her passion for the Eagles, to anything that she's passionate about.
Where's the... There's no you in there.
That's why she's been brought back to be the commentator all the time and be that person.
heard a number of people who are surprised that she is the age that she is. And there's no doubt doing something you love, surrounding yourself with young people keeps you young.
People say that to me. I'm not conscious of that, but I assume that's got something to do with it. I can remember driving home last year and there was talkback radio and a lady rang in. She said, "I'm in my early 70s. And I thought, oh my God, I hope I don't sound like that. I don't think I've got an old voice, so maybe that's because I use it all the time.
Don't you agree, Mr. Hawthorne?
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Lawrence.
It's a rare combination of a number of factors that result in someone who's still so sprightly and still giving back so much to the young people at Wesley. She's been here over 3 decades, and she's changed roles over the years, so she's reinvented herself. She's always learning, she's doing something different.
One of the things that I think is really special about this job is that I learn every day. Whether it's just general interaction with my students.
What's a buzz cut anyway? The Botox thingy, and I learned so much about Kim Kardashian's butt.
The appearing card. And the disappearing card.
That's very good.
Or whether they're preparing for their AMEB exams and the research they do and they come back with all sorts of different information. Things that I haven't heard of.
Only happens to 10% of people, even though nothing goes wrong.
Oh, okay.
The sound of blood pumping in their heads or moving through their veins.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah.
It's always new, it's always something different.
And what did she do again with the cat?
She dug up her dead cat and fried it and ate it.
Gee, we do some great stuff in this class, don't we?
Much as I love this, I love being able to teach speech and drama, but yeah, I miss the classroom. But it's all changed now and I couldn't go back in, even if I wanted to, because the whole thing is technologically based and I have no understanding or very little understanding of all of that.
I don't have a laptop. I'm the only staff member at Wesley who doesn't have one.
Why don't you have one?
Because I don't like the things.
Yes, Suzanne doesn't like technology.
This is when I say the carrier pigeon is more reliable than emails.
You were just explaining what a terabyte was?
It's an extinct creature with snapping jaws. What am I doing? I'm trying to switch my phone off. Well, that's a great email. Fix this one up.
You said that one.
Oh, did I? Oh, lucky for you.
2009 was when at Wesley the computer age started to come in. I can remember my colleagues coming in and saying to me things like, oh, there's this great video on YouTube. The boys would love to see that. And I'd think, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to teach them. I don't want them to be stuck behind a screen.
It's something that I don't know how she would use that in her space.
I mean, at the end of the day, the subject is about speech and drama. It's how you can speak, convey emotions and impress Miss Lawrence. And I guess computers don't play a big role.
There's a lot of things she mentions that you never really realise. Even something as detailed as how you should change up your tone. It's just something you can't get from just watching a video or finding it online.
I think it also makes the teaching more special as well. Anyone can just put up a PowerPoint, talk off the slides or show a YouTube video that someone else made, but like it comes from her.
I always say there's a difference between a teacher and an educator. A true educator will pass that content, but they actually realise that's actually secondary to educating young people about life. That's the magic that true educators can do, as opposed to someone who's just lecturing to students in front of a class.
She's certainly got the old school outlook in a lot of things.
Always remember your manners.
But also, too many things are getting lost as we move on, and we've got to hold on to those things that are really worthwhile, and I think what she's doing is incredibly worthwhile.
So I thought, you know, this is not what I want. And so I have 2 diplomas in speech and drama, and I was able to go to the headmaster at the time and say, can I bring speech and drama to Wesley? I was terrified that I wouldn't get enough enrolments, but I did have a waiting list in my first year and have had ever since.
The technology, there's aspects that are valuable in education, but there's a whole lot of issues that are not positive for young people, which makes it even more important for teachers to connect to every student. And I always found teaching boys so much easier if you show an interest in them, if you take the time to get to know them, They're very easy, you've got them.
Teaching at mainly boys' school, the one thing that I've loved is because I have great interest in sport. I love all sport. I love football, I love cricket, I love basketball. That's Brad Shepherd, I taught him English. That's not the most important one though. You've got the captain of the Australian cricket team up there and you didn't ask me about him.
Mitchell Marsh, a Wesley boy.
He was in my class in 2003. You name it, I love it and I can talk about it, and I think that's really been helpful being at a predominantly boys' school.
Thank you, Mrs. Lawrence.
Footy tipping, I get in trouble as well. If I get those wrong, that's probably the biggest trouble I get, actually.
I was at one stage at the top of the ladder. This year, I'm 87th, because somebody who discusses tips with me is not on the board.
If you don't take the time to find out who they are, then they quite often won't respect you. And that's what makes teaching so hard, where every year you start again. The students owe you nothing. So if you walk into a classroom and say, well, I've been doing this for 25 years, the students owe me respect, you're not going to go well.
It's just about developing relationships. Every single student you have, somehow you have to develop a relationship with. And for me, the ongoing relationship is really, really important.
Hello?
Hello. You look different.
You're not supposed to say that.
One of the most special things about being a teacher and about my journey is the number of boys that I get to catch up with and who somehow find you, and I don't know how they do it, but modern technology is amazing. So to have that sort of connection, that's very special. I'm very fortunate to have that.
It's a program that has had such a positive impact on countless boys that have come through this college, and as a true educator, that's what she should be most proud of.
I can't do this. Dear Mrs. Lawrence, I haven't the words to express how grateful I am
to have you as a teacher.
Thank you for being the best teacher I could ever wish for.
You are the best teacher I have ever had.
The time I've spent with you at Wesley will never be forgotten.
You have made this the best school year of my life.
You've gone from being the scary lady in the playground to one of the kindest people I know.
Thank you for being there when I needed you.
Thank you for one of the most
Thank
enjoyable
you for teaching me this year.
Thank you for one of my best teachers. Thank you for making me feel good
You
about
are the
everything.
best
You have been by far my best.
Outstanding teacher.
There is something special about you and your class.
Thank you for being a shining light
in my dark world. You are the most remarkable and amazing woman I've ever met. Oh, amazing to read that, and it's very emotional. I don't want to stop being a teacher. No, I don't. I don't see that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. The night was black when the cat named Jack heard rat-a-tat-tat from the door of the shack, and the duck came back. Quack, 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 quack. Meow. Paddywhack, here's a feather to your back, said the cat named Jack.
I think it's hard to quantify the kind of impact that Mrs. Lawrence has had on all of us over so many years, because having the confidence to present and having the confidence to speak your mind and be able to articulate that effectively is something that's irreplaceable. It's quite sad that it's something that's becoming less valued nowadays.
It's actually dying, and there are very, very few of us out there. It's just becoming such a lost art. No, I think it's eventually going to die, which is a great shame. But I try to explain that people will always have to be able to communicate in some way, be able to perhaps speak at a wedding, to speak at a eulogy. You need to be able to communicate adequately when you have an interview for a job. Even if you're being interviewed through Zoom or something like that, you still have to be able to speak well. And I have so much evidence from my past students who say, I got this job because I know how to speak.
She's still got so much to give that needs to be given. I can't see her quitting. I can see her one day just falling asleep at a desk and there she is.
My retirement plan is I'm going till I'm 80, and then I'm going to make a retirement plan. And that retirement plan might be I could go till I'm 85. I don't know. I can't see my life yet without this amazing opportunity that I have. That every day I come into this room and I laugh.
Alright, you're done. This camera cut for like 10 seconds. So that's alright.
Oh, God.